Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are taking a nice nature walk here at our KOA campground in northern Maine. They've got a beautiful setup here with some meadow walks and some forest walks. We love walking around here in the evening before dinner, and Griffin especially loves it.
One thing that's been interesting is coming across, I think, 2 or 3 other people that are doing a similar thing to us that are staying at this campground. One person's buying land nearby here in Maine, and another person who's a Canadian citizen but has lived for years in the US is buying kind of similar size, 40 plus acres, somewhere in New Brunswick as well. So it's been interesting to see others having a similar idea, and just this part of the country, or actually 2 countries, but this part of the northeast between northern Maine and the Maritimes, at least for 3 or 4 of us, is a real draw.
Yep. This week we are going to show you how we've been starting to clear our land. Last week you saw how we chose the land, and we have got our neighbor and the seller of the land, Steve, who is going to help us out with clearing and excavating and bulldozing and all this stuff. We are so fortunate that the person who sold us this land owns his own trucking and excavation company, and he just built a house about a mile down the road, and he's been so helpful to us of walking the land with us. He knows what all the trees are and where the old logging roads are, and I can't imagine trying to do this without him or having to hire someone to teach us all this stuff. So we're going to hire him to do all of our excavation, and today Jason and I are walking around and trying to mark things with some colored tape of where we think that we want the driveway to go, where we want a clearing to go for our initial RV site, and maybe where the septic tank and the well might go. So we're just kind of marking things out as he suggested to us the other day when he walked the land with us. So to give you an overview of what we're trying to do here, we've drawn out a rough map because I know it's hard to visualize this much land if you're not here. This is the outline of our property, about 50 acres, and the entire southern border is along a seasonal dirt road. So we have plenty of road frontage, which is great because it means that no one can build too close on either side of us. You can kind of see this rounded shape, which we're calling the bell. There's an existing logging road that runs around this bell that borders a higher area of land that covers about 10 acres. We've decided that this is the prime spot for clearing and building because it's very flat and slightly elevated. And we like that it already has a sort of road around it that we can turn into an ATV trail. That brown spot at the bottom of the bell is a large area that was previously cleared as a logging access area. This will be our main driveway entrance, which will lead up to our clearing. The yellow area here is what we are marking with tape to have cleared.
Okay.
So we've marked this random spruce tree that we like the looks of. And then we have another white birch tree down there that we've marked. And kind of in between those 2 trees are where we're thinking would be the prime spot for the RV. And we make a driveway in this way.
Well, I think the driveway would come in a little bit and then come up to here.
Yep. Yeah.
I think.
Wow, when you first get in here, it's really hard to tell any difference between the types of trees and the bushes and everything. But now that I can see it and I've had it explained, I can see where the previous clearings have been cut, and there's just short trees that have grown up there. But the big trees have been here for longer. That's really helpful.
The south and west, so that's south, this is west. That sweep there is mostly what we want to have cleared out. You know, call that the front yard, the commons, and I think the RV pad, a cabin spot, would tend to be on this side that we're on over here, facing that way, is at least the idea. So Lisa's saying it can be hard to see and to kind of delete out the things that are going away, but all this little stuff is what's grown up in the twitch trails that were the access to logging. Like, they've been logged out, plus it was what the machinery was driving on. But if you look through here, all of this is going to go away, and they're kind of fun to walk through because they're really soft and flexible. But that's all going to be cleared out here in a couple more days, and then we'll be able to look around, and what we think is true we'll confirm or adjust a little bit.
So we're marking the boundaries of the little scrubby stuff so that when they come on Monday, they know roughly we're gonna stay in this area and take out all the scrub.
Yeah, so you draw like big lines between the green, and then this stuff in here will go away. So, as we come through here, it'll be very good for this to be gone. So you can see what's going on. So you can hear him in the background. Kevin is getting down all the little saplings and stuff like that and the occasional dead tree. But you can kind of see this is the rough version. So this is roughed out, and then depending on what we want to do, this will at least be scraped with a bulldozer to flatten smooth it. And if it's going to be more of the driveway, then crushed stone gravel will also go down on top of it to make for a nice surface that doesn't get muddy and rutted if it's wet or rainy. So we can already, like, oh, it smells so good, the pine of some of this stuff cut. But it's already starting to feel like a thing.
So the big harvester has come through and cleared out a big circular area for us here where we're calling the Commons. And this is where we think we want to put an RV spot, maybe a future cabin, a yurt platform. And we've also had a path dug through here for possibly an ATV trail. So it's pretty rough right now, but we're just getting a sense of where could we put things. And then tomorrow, he's coming back with a different machine, an excavator, to really flatten this out, make a kind of a dirt, level it off, and we're gonna have our gravel driveway put in. So it's really taking shape.
So there'll be some bulldozing going on as well. The excavator can scoop stuff, move things around. The bulldozer can flatten it. And you'll have, probably, 30 to 40 dump trucks of gravel will be dumped to get back here. So.
And this will be our main living area, we think. And then we've also got this plan of having some ATV trails and walking trails along some other parts of the property. We might have him bulldoze out some rough trails for us too. Yeah. We're coming to see what work has been done since yesterday. It looks like some good clearing has gone on.
All that old, logging leftovers have all been pushed away, which means that stuff can now grow back up because it won't be all acidic. That's the idea.
There's our new gravel driveway.
There's our future
basic dirt road.
Off to the right there's our future
firewood pile.
Firewood pile. Should last us for a few years of summer camping.
We cleared all this out so that eventually trees and good shrubs can grow up in there in some good soil.
Or a lawn, or we don't know if fruit trees, things like that might make sense in here. So that's good.
As you can imagine, there's a lot of debris that comes from all this clearing. We chose to have Steve bring in his dump trucks and haul out the trees and stumps rather than dumping them farther into the woods. So for a while, we had gravel trucks coming in and dump trucks going out. It is really a wonder to see how fast they are able to do all this stuff.
Come check this out. You can see how this is nice and compact. It won't turn to mud.
Yeah, it's basically just they made a dirt road.
Well, and gravel's probably the better term. It's got a different quality to it. All right.
We'll see it. We didn't have him gravel the whole cleared area, just the main driveway there, but we did have him put in this little parking pad. Maybe we could park 2 or 3 cars there out of the way. We thought that was worth putting some gravel down there.
Nice.
That's gonna make a nice lawn.
Yeah, and I think this makes sense for a nice little, parking spot that's not in the middle of everything, but longer term, there'll also be an RV. RVs will be here or both. So kind of this quarter is where stuff would be.
So the excavating of the main clearing area is mostly done. It needs to be tamped down a little bit more, but Jason and I have just been thinking that this seems narrow now that we see it. I think the length is good, and if we put a cabin or some kind of structure back there eventually, I think that'll be real nice. But over here to the side where we were thinking maybe we could pull our RV in here and kind of tuck it in the trees, seems too tight now. And if we want to build a courtyard or a common fire pit area, eventually maybe have some tents or, yours. And also we're gonna have to put in a septic system here. Now we're rethinking a little bit, like, should we cut into these woods a little bit more back there so we could pull the RV around in a circular pull-through site? I don't know, we're thinking about it. But, Steve, the excavator guy, said, hey, once people start clearing out land, the plan always changes. So don't worry about it. You're going to get in there and you're going to take a look at the cleared area and you're going to change your mind. So it's all just part of the plan and part of the process. So the yellow area is what we had initially cleared, but as I said, it ended up being too narrow. So we went back and marked with tape again, creating a wider area that you can see here in orange. This will give us more room for a septic field, RV sites, and to give some room between our buildings and the tall trees. So we talked with our excavating guy the other day. We told him we wanted to widen out this cabin area and RV area, so you can see that we marked certain trees with green tape, and we said clear out up to this green tape and leave kind of a big half circle. And he did a great job. This is going to be a really nice area now to build some stuff on. We were worried that by clearing it too much we would lose some of the forest feel, but as they kept telling us, you have 50 acres, I think you've got enough trees. I don't think you're going to lose the forest. And they were absolutely right. And then the other way, looking out the back of the lot, there was trees all the way across here, and we told them just to take out this middle section of trees so that we could see down to the trail and to the other end. It's a little bit swampy way back there, so we wouldn't build anything back there, but we just wanted the view and to have a backyard for the cabin, and this is going to work out really great. We also were a little concerned about how tall these trees are, and we wanted to get the cabin away from the tall trees. If a storm comes along and the trees knock over, we don't want the structures to be so close to them that they're in danger. So that was another factor in clearing out more land and giving ourselves some room. Bubby. You can see over here on the side, we've marked some of these beautiful evergreen trees too with green tape. We wanted to keep, we're calling it the Christmas tree stand. And we said, get rid of the tall spindly stuff and leave the nice Christmas trees. That is a beautiful view off to the side.
And then the real centerpiece.
The excavator's going to make a nice decorative element.
It's more of a conversation piece, kind of like an that's what I'm looking for. It's like a coffee table book. Really, everyone in Maine has one of those in their land.
Sure.
That's actually more true than not.
In addition to our big cleared area, Steve also began clearing out the existing logging trail up through the middle of the bell for an ATV and walking trail, which you can see here in the pink line. Eventually, maybe a few years down the road, we plan to expand our trail system throughout the property with both ATV and walking trails. So we've got our nice gravel parking area here, and it looks like he also started rutting out our ATV trail, which is very cool. This is eventually going to loop around here, all around the back, and come out behind the cabin. That's just one part of it, one small part. Oh, it's so exciting to see it. Look at this nice little curve. Look at this nice little curve in the path.
This is for ATV and walking purposes.
Perfect. Perfect width, too.
That excavator was the right tool for this.
Yep. Look, he did. He connected it. At least to the right there. And then there'll be another part of the trail that goes up here and to the left.
Yeah, but then it'll take a sharp turn, because if you look on the map view, this is sort of a bell shape, and we're at the top of the bell. Like if the bell was hanging on a Christmas tree, this would be the top. And that shoots off at an angle to other stuff. But the other side of the bell goes down that way, and it's very grown in. But we want that to go down. So like a big loop system.
We might have that done at the end of the summer when he's got more time. But look, he connected this all the way around.
is already great, isn't it?
Wow. So exciting. Just need a good bug net.
Well, I mean, the bugs are not bad all day long. We just always end up here.
We're always
like,
here at dusk.
After, like, it's the worst possible time. And it's still pretty bearable.
Well, with the bug net on, it's really no problem.
But now if we were sitting with tiki torches or just in the screen porch, would be obviously fun. The edge of mosquito land.
Oh, I thought we were back at the clearing, but we're not even there yet.
Honey, we have 50 acres, and this ain't it. And that's not it, Chief.
Wow. We've already had a visitor through our
Yeah, those are pretty
our soft land here.
They're just for scale. I don't think that's a...
It's a nice moose
I
print.
don't think that's a little Bambi prancing
No,
through
I
here.
don't think so. Lots of moose in here. So that is where we are at the moment. We've got most of our clearing done, and I think we're going to take a break for a few weeks or a couple months now while our excavator guy does some other jobs, and he might get back to some clearing of trails for us later in the summer. But for now, we're going to focus on maybe getting some septic tank work done. Trying to get in touch with the septic inspector and digger, and hopefully we'll get him out soon to do a perk test, and that is when you test the soil to make sure that it can percolate or fill with water enough to build a septic system. So stay tuned for that in future weeks, and we will see you next time. Have a great week. Bye, guys.